joined by Carl Banks. Offensively, it's been the phenomenal running of Joe Morris that's gained the Giants a share of the NFC East lead as they seek to knock off their fifth straight division opponent. It was Buddy Ryan who boldly predicted his Eagles would win the NFC East. He inherited a defense led by Reggie White that would be the cornerstone of the team. But things haven't quite worked out for Philadelphia. Their record is 3-6. They've allowed the most sacks in the NFL, and frustration has replaced experimented on each other. Then Bill Parcells became their target. Now the New York Giants have developed an art form they can call their own. CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today it's the New York Giants against the Philadelphia Eagles live at sold-out Veterans Stadium. Weather conditions, temperature 64, it's cloudy. Rain is a possibility. It's been raining most of the day already. The Eastern Division standings, Washington has won today. They are 8-2 and 2-2 in the division. The Giants 4-1 within the division, trying to beat the Eagles to get today. The Cowboys 6-3 and 5-1 in the East. So this is indeed a very important game for the Giants and all the rest of those involved. Good afternoon, I'm Pat Summerall. When you talk about the Giants, there are two words, I think, or two phrases that come to your mind this week particularly. One, a letdown against the Eagles. Two, are we using Joe Morris too much? With me, of course, is John Madden. And John, I ask your opinion and your answer to those two questions.
Well, of course, Joe Morris has had two remarkable games in a row. He gained 181 yards against the Redskins, then came back and gained another 181 yards last week against Dallas. And I don't think Joe Morris thinks he can keep that up. Bill Parcells doesn't. The whole Giant team doesn't. And they know that eventually they're going to have to get some more passing, because what's starting to happen is the defense are going to tighten up on them. They're going to start putting 8 and 9 men up on the line of scrimmage. Now, Bill Parcells knows that, and he says today, he said, we have to start out throwing. We have to loosen up that defense.
In the first meeting between these two teams up at Giant Stadium, the Giants just overpowered the Eagles. Buddy Ryan said he was embarrassed. What is he going to do about that?
Well, you know what he felt? He felt that once the Giants got ahead, that a lot of his guys didn't fight anymore. So he said, today I'm going to get the toughest guys I got. They made a lot of lineup changes, and he said, we're going to have tough guys out there. He said, we're going to go to war with these guys. Now, that's on one hand. Then on the other hand, he's saying that you have to pass the ball to beat the Giants. Of course, the Eagles lead the league in being sacked. They've been sacked 46 times. So what they want to do is they want to go out there and be tough, and they want to go out there and throw the ball, but the big question is going to be, can they pass protect against the Giants?
And we'll have a look at that, because the Giants will receive Paul McFadden's kickoff. Phil McConkey and Mark Collins back deep. McFadden, one of the barefoot breed of kickers, standing back at the 35. Wind is against him, or so it would appear. You never can tell in a stadium like this. Short kick, it'll be Mark Collins at the 5. And hit just outside the 20. As the Eagles do a good job on special teams. Jody Schultz, the first man down. Those of you who watched the Redskins improve their record to 8-2, welcome to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, where you just missed the opening kickoff. This will be the first offensive series, and Phil Simms will look at that Philadelphia defense. Reggie White, Ken Clark, and the others up front, Cobb, Reichenbach, and Seth Joyner starting at outside linebacker. Young, Cooper, Waters, and Hogue, the secondary. First and 10 Giants they give to Morris right off the bat. And Morris is hit just shy of the 25 by Mike Reichenbach. The Giant receivers and offensive backs. Morris just carried. Simms, of course, the quarterback. Maurice Carthon, a dynamic blocker. Solomon Miller and Bobby Johnson start outside. Up front, Vincent Oates, Godfrey, and Nelson, and the tight end, Mark Bavaro. Second and 7. Phil McConkey, split wide to the right. Bobby Johnson wide left. Simms fakes to Morris, goes upfield, hits Bavaro, and has it bounce away from his tight end. Gary Cobb was the closest Eagle, but that's a pass that could have been successful.
Well, I think Phil Simms needs that as much as anyone, Pat, because with the passing not going well, with all the injuries, Phil Simms has lost a lot of confidence.
Last week's game didn't do a lot to build that confidence. Lowest full game total since 1979. They only completed 6 passes. As John Madden said, Joe Morris had one of his big days. 3rd down and 7 from the 25. Tony Galbraith back by Sims. Sims outside incomplete. McConkey broke it in. Sims threw it out. Reggie White put the pressure on Sims and knocked him down. This guy is some player and going to get better.
You know, Buddy Ryan says of all the defensive linemen he's ever coached in his life, this guy's the best. He said he has more ability than any, you know, and he had guys like Carl Eller and Alan Page and all those guys, plus the guys at Chicago.
Dan Hampton and group and Richard Dent. Landetta back to punt for the Giants. Garrity back deep for the Eagles. Good kick by Sean Landetta. At the 26, Gary fumbles. Gets away from one man and now breaks out of the pack. And Garrity to the Eagle 44, taken down by Zeke Mowatt. How about this one? And welcome those of you who watched the New Orleans Saints shut out the Rams 6-0. Welcome to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Score is 0-0 here. Pat Summerall with John Madden. The Giants failed on their first offensive series. Failed to pick up a first down, that is, and now the Eagles take over at their own 46 after a good return by Garrity. Crawford and Haddix behind Jaworski. Outside to Haddix. Got one block almost. Reasons, however, made the tackle after a gain of 3. Mark Collins up to help out. The Giant defense, second best in the NFL. Martin, Burton, Marshall up front. 4 outstanding linebackers, Banks, Reasons, Carson, and Lawrence Taylor. And in the secondary, Collins and Williams on the corners, Hill and Kennard are the safety man, make it 2nd and 6. They got 4 on that first down completion. 2 tight end offense, and they give the ball to Crawford, and Crawford has no place to go. A loss of 1. Reasons was the first man there. The Eagle offense, Ron Jaworski, the quarterback. The running backs, Crawford and Haddix. Mike Quick and Kenny Jackson, 2 good outside receivers. Up front, Conwell, Hayden, and Darwin, all making starts for the first time. Baker and Mitchell on the right side, and John Spagnuolo is the tight end, 3rd and 7. Replace Burt. Jaworski out of the shotgun, going deep for Jackson, batted away. Mark Collins, and he had deep help. Yeah, I tell you, I think everyone looks at Mark Collins, the rookie defensive back for the Giants. They're always going to want to go to work on him early. I think because of that, he keeps getting better every week. If they keep testing you, that's the best way I know about to improve. There was a penalty marker dropped against the Eagles, refused by the Giants, so Telchik will punt. Does he have his shoe on or off? He has it on. You know, he's been a guy who's been barefoot, then gone to the shoe, then back to barefoot, now he's back to the shoe. Now he's got the shoe on. McConkey standing back in his own 10. Signaling fair catch and fielding it at the 19. The Jets in the 4th quarter beating Atlanta and establishing themselves as perhaps the outstanding team in the league. That's in the 4th quarter. New England having trouble with the Indianapolis Colts, but still winning. Buffalo beat Pittsburgh. Good start for Marv Levy. Kansas City 27-7 over Seattle, and Cincinnati and Houston 29-21 Oilers. And Minnesota getting stronger and stronger, winning. The Bears 23-3 over Tampa Bay, and that should bring you up to date. 2 tight end offense for the Giants. Morris to his left and outside, and around the corner is Joe Morris. knocked out of bounds by Evan Cooper. A gain of 19. A lot of Giant fans on hand.
The tough thing is you say you don't want to run Morris as much as you do, but look at the results when you do it. I'll tell you, Maurice Carthon came through there and got a great lead block for him. Morris was right behind him and then bounced out. You know, when you keep gaining yardage like that, when you run the guy, why not do it?
It's hard not to. Look at what he's done in the last 2 weeks, not including today. 66% of the Giants' offense has been the running of Joe Morris.
The amazing thing is everyone's keying on him.
There he goes again. This time they keyed correctly. Clark, no gain, and Reggie Singletary were the two Eagles who made the stop.
They have some big guys in that front. You know, they use a front four. They have Greg Brown and Reggie Singletary, who's a rookie, playing along with Ken Clark, the 9-year veteran, and Reggie White, who, as Buddy Ryan says, could be the next dominant defensive player in this league.
This time the Giants split Morris out wide to the right. And Carthon is behind Sims. Still back to throw. Down the middle, incomplete, intended for Bavaro. Flag is down.
You know, one of the problems that Sims is having, I think when he lost Lionel Manuel, and then he lost Stacy Robinson, and he's playing with a rookie Solomon Miller. Bobby Johnson isn't giving him, you know, what he's given in the past. I think he's kind of given up on the outside receivers, and he's just looking inside all the time.
Fred Wyant, the referee.
Illegal use of the hands to the face, number 92, first down.
There's Reggie White, number 92.
He's right there. You know, he starts out against Carl Nelson, and then his hand starts in the shoulder pads, then works up to the face mask. Well, that's a tough one. Yeah, you know, because when you take a big arm like that and you rip it up like that, you don't know where it's going to stop. I mean, it may stop the shoulder pad, but it may go up to the helmet.
And that's exactly what happened then, all the way up to the face mask. John Madden almost lost his watch. Morris, the ball carrier, up close to midfield. A gain of 5. Terry Hogue, who's been a pleasant acquisition for the Eagles, made the stop.
Buddy Ryan was saying when Terry Hogue became available from the Saints, they waived him. He brought him in here, and he was questioning his speed, and he said he timed him himself in 4.62. He said, that's enough for me.
That's quick enough. 2nd and 6, and it's Morris again. Hit behind the line of scrimmage by Seth Joyner, a rookie from UTEP.
Well,
No
you know,
game.
he's playing in the place of Alonzo Johnson, who was a rookie. Buddy Ryan says, we got some guys in there like this Seth Joyner. They'll run around and hit you, and they can tackle. He said they're a little young, and they don't really know the game yet, but at least they'll fight you.
But he said we want some of those barroom guys in there that know what fighting is about. 3rd and 6. Sims out of the spread. Gets it to Bavaro. On the bounce, it's incomplete. Gary Cobb was an Eagle defender.
You notice what we were talking about earlier, Pat, how Sims has looked every time at Bavaro, or the guy in the middle. I don't even know when he drops back if he's even looking to the outside guys. But I'll tell you, in a zone defense, that can really bring the whole defense into the middle.
Garrity standing back for Landetta's punt. He might let it fly. And it flies into the end zone. They'll start from their own 20. 52-yard punt by Sean Landetta went into the Eagle end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20.
Let's look at that last play, and we can see Sims here. You see, he's from the shotgun. Bavaro's right there in the middle. You see, he's watching Bavaro all the way. Now, I think that somewhere you got to be able to see the whole field. I'm not saying he had anyone open outside, but I think he's lost confidence in that outside. And the only thing that he has confidence in is the tight end and the stuff in the middle.
Those of you who watched the Vikings improve their record with that 24-10 victory It's 0-0 with 9:55 left to play in the first quarter at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. It's the Eagles and the Giants. That was Haddix in motion. Jaworski back to throw. Doesn't have time. Finally is down in the grasp of Harry Carson, who was the first man on the scene, and then Leonard Marshall made sure.
We see what Lawrence Taylor did is he came over to the same side of Carl Banks. Now he has his two linebackers on that side. So now that makes a running back have to block against Lawrence Taylor. And there's no way that they can do it. Now, Buddy Ryan thinks that Haddix can do it, but if Lawrence Taylor is coming with no help, Michael Haddix or no other back can block him.
Not when he has a run at you like that. Second down and 15. The ball is back at the Eagle of 15. Jaworski trying to throw again. Marshall is loose. Screen pass to Junior Tartalatasi. He spins out to about the 25. A gain of 10. Collins on the stop.
Tartalatasi was one of the big surprises for this team in training camp. Remember, he came in here, rookie from Washington State. They bring him in, and he has the best yardage and the best preseason of any of the running backs, and he starts the first game.
Surprises me that both of us can pronounce it. 8:45 left in the first quarter. 3rd and 6. The ball at the 24. Bobby Duckworth, newly acquired by the Eagles, lined up in the slot. Jaworski has time. Pass intended for Duckworth, incomplete. Collins and Elvis Patterson were the Giant defenders. And the Eagles will have to punt again.
You know, I think for the most part, the first part of this game has been a draw where Buddy says that they have to pass, and they have to pass protect. And I think they've done a pretty good job at it. I mean, they've gotten there and they've pecked around Jaworski, but he's been able to get some off.
McConkey back deep for the Giants. Telchik will punt. McConkey will have a chance with this one. Makes a good catch. And down are the Eagles quickly. McConkey gets back to the 35. Set Joyner down to make the stop. And the Giants will take over at their own 35. A 49-yard punt by Telchik. McConkey, with a good catch, returned it 8 yards. 0-0 the score. 8:18 left to play in the first quarter. Giants out quickly, ready to go. 1st and 10 from their own 35. Miller and Johnson both are wide left now. Solomon Miller comes in motion. And Sims fakes. Fire. Incomplete. Picked off. The Eagles get the rebound. Andre Waters comes up with it. Intended for Bobby Johnson. Deflected by Evan Cooper.
Here Sims is going to go to an outside receiver. Watch Bobby Johnson here. He works back. He was working to the inside, and the ball was thrown to the outside. That was one of those things that the receiver was running one pattern, the quarterback was reading the other, and Andre Waters came up with the ball.
The Bears defeated Tampa Bay 23-3. Those of you who watched that Bear victory, welcome to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. It's 0-0 here. First quarter. Eagles just got the interception, and they send Crawford straight ahead. You got about 3 reasons made the stop.
Here we're talking about Buddy Ryan, talking about tough guys, and he said this guy is one of them here, Charles Crawford. He said he's one of those guys from Oklahoma. He says he knows what a barroom fight is. Yeah, we talked that Tartalatasi started the season, then Keith Byers, their #1 draft choice, started, and now it's Crawford.
New England beat Indianapolis. Those other scores still in progress. 2nd and 7 here. Taylor over on the left side again. Sent it back to try to block him. Slowed him down. He got some help. Let's see how they handle it. I think an offensive tackle came out and helped
Well, you
out.
see, he's coming from the right side, you see. Here he starts here. Haddix is trying to block him. Mitchell comes off his block, Leonard Mitchell, and he ends up putting Taylor on the ground. But that's the way you have to do it. You have to get a big lineman on Lawrence Taylor, or two guys. You know, let the back, then let a lineman come off, or some combination of that.
3rd and 7.
Taylor saying, I didn't see that Mitchell coming at me.
One of the Eagles was saying he has the look of a tiger in his eye, Lawrence Taylor. He's on the right side this time. And coming again. Jaworski gets it outside to Totalatasi. And he'll have a Philadelphia first down inside the Giant 30. And a gain of 11.
I'll tell you one thing. You have the idea that early in this game that the Eagles are coming out here to fight the Giants. You know, that they're going to give that second effort. They're going to give that gang tackling. They're going to give that, you know, that second, third effort in the trenches, that type of thing.
That'll make it 1st and 10 Eagles. 6:40 left to play. First quarter. They're at the Giant 28. Hand off to Haddix. And Haddix gets down to about the 25.
I'll tell you, you got to get movement on that nose tackle in there. Jim Burt did a good job against Matt Darwin on that play.
San Francisco with Joe Montana starting at quarterback with the early lead over St. Louis. Dallas leads the Raiders 3-0. Those games started at the same time we did. 2nd and 7, a gain of 3. Waters' interception of a Phil Simms deflected pass got the Eagles close to Giant territory, and now they're trying to take advantage. Crawford hit by Collins, knocked out of bounds, no gain. As active and as big, John, as those Giant linebackers are, and as strong as those front three in that 3-4 setup are, it is very difficult to run against that defensive unit. Look at what happened in the last couple of games. 7 out of 12 times they scored inside the opponent's 30. But only 3 of them were touchdowns. 3rd and 7. Just missed him. Welch. Herb Welch on the coverage.
I tell you, the thing is, Lawrence Taylor, we're going to see him coming from the outside, giving some pressure here. That's tackled Joe Conwell, trying to block him. Then he couldn't block him. He went for the hold and then the tackle. But I think the encouraging thing for the Eagles is that Ron Jaworski has been able to get the ball off. Last time he played the Giants, he said, was the worst beating he's ever taken in his life.
We had to rest a while. From 42 yards away, McFadden with Jaworski holding. It'll get there. However, it's not straight enough. No good. And the Giants will take over. So with 5:39 left to play in the first quarter, still no points on the board by either team.
Listen to the heartbeat.
Back at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. 0-0. The rematch between the Giants and the Eagles after the Giants up at Giants Stadium just overpowered Philadelphia in their first match. Phil Simms, the quarterback. McConkey and Johnson both split wide to the left. Giants have not scored a touchdown in the first quarter. Only 9 points all year long. Simms back to throw. Going for Bavaro, and he's got it and lost it. That is incomplete.
Bavaro is having trouble as a pass receiver. Look at this. He he runs a good pass pattern, gets beyond. He has a linebacker there having to cover a man-to-man. He gets past him. Gary Cobb makes a catch, gets it in his hands, bobbles it, and it goes outside. Remember the same thing happened last week against Dallas. Watch Phil Simms. He wants something to get him started.
And he wants something up the field, deep.
I don't think he's ever gone through a period like this where he's had this many problems.
I can't remember it. He's 0 for 5. Second and 10 from the 25. Simms back again. Has some time. And has Solomon Miller. He is dragged down for first down. Outside the 42. First down Giants. Now, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Well, Pat and John, enjoy this moment. It's a great one this year. Joe Montana is back. 45 yards, Jerry Rice, touchdown, 49ers. And they now lead 10-0. Let's go back to Pat and John.
That is truly amazing, the recovery of Joe Montana. Really a tribute to his diligence in that recuperative period. He really worked hard at it. Simms back to throw again. We've got to go deep, he said. That's a gain of only 3. Joe Morris, the receiver, stopped by Ronnie Young.
You know, I think what they're trying to do is just get some passing in the game so that the Eagles today just can't line up there and get 8, 9 men on the line of scrimmage, and the opponents that they play in the future can't do it. Because what you do in a short yardage or goal line, you like to get 9, 10 men up there. But like Buddy Ryan says, if all they want to do is run, they're just running a goal line offense, and we'll play them in a goal line defense.
Second down and 7. Simms again. Complete again to Morris, who stays on his feet, and Joe Morris gets inside the Eagle 35 to the 33 before it's Roynell Young who brings him down. A gain of 22.
I'll tell you, that's one way to get the ball outside and get it to Joe Morris at the same time. First of all, it starts off with good pass protection. We see Reggie White got there right at the end. Now here's Joe Morris split out. He's out there like a wide receiver. See, and then he runs an out pattern, catches the ball right there. Now watch the move that he makes. He can make those same moves out wide as a wide receiver as he makes going through a line. Look at that water fly. Do you see that water fly at the end?
You don't realize on this turf that it's been raining all day just about in Philadelphia. It's very wet. Roussan has replaced Morris. Simms is going to take off. Simms down for another Giant first down. Ken Clark finally tripped him up. But Phil Simms on a scramble got 11.
You know, you can just look at Phil Simms' eyes there, and you can see the confidence coming back now. He hits Solomon Miller in the middle. Then he hits Joe Morris outside. Now he's looking, he scrambles, and he runs around and picks up a first down. I think for his confidence, he needed those 3 plays in a row more than anything.
And as you said, you could almost see it in his eyes when we had that close-up shot. Giants 5 first downs now. Down at the Eagle 22. Morris gets the call. Outside and tripped up. Andre Waters up to force in a hurry.
Yeah, we were talking about Andre Waters, and Buddy Ryan says so far this year he's been their MVP. You'll see number 20, Andre Waters, coming up to tackle Joe Morris. He's one of those guys who just loves to tackle. In fact, he said he's so aggressive that he has to keep himself back. He has to hold back.
Good play by Reggie White, too. Knocked Bavaro backwards and cut off Billy Ard coming around the corner. Morris is out there by himself. Here's Simms back to throw on second. Down he goes from behind. Greg Brown, and Simms never saw him coming. First sack.
You know, you'll see what happens here. We're going to just stop it when he's ready to throw and see what he gets right here. See right now, here's Simms ready to throw the ball. Now you can see that he doesn't have anything here. He doesn't have anything here. There's no cut here yet. So he has to hold it, and he gets caught from behind. He almost gets caught from the front there. But that's going to be Reggie White there in the front. And see, he has to hold it, because there's no one open down there. So it's not always the line's fault. Sometimes the receivers just aren't open.
That brings up a 3rd and 16 situation. The Giants go with 4 wide receivers, and now Sims calls a timeout. Hence, Warren and McConkey had joined the starters so they could go with 4. Sims didn't like it, and we have a timeout.
Aggressor 10.
We're at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Pat Summerall and John Madden. Nothing with a minute 25 left to play in the first quarter. It's 3rd and 16. No score as yet. Phil Sims has a little strawberry on the chin.
I think that could be left over from last week, didn't he? I think he had one of those last week that maybe just reopened.
Now they got the formation they want. Bavaro lined up to Sims' right. Galbraith to his left. Bavaro comes back in the block. They go quickly in the direction of McConkey, and the ball bounced off Elbert, foul. Incomplete. And we'll have a look at Allegre.
Hey, we see the rush here. You see what they like to do, the Eagles, is get that big push up the middle. Cover those guys and then bring the linebacker. That was Gary Cobb coming from the outside that got to Sims as he threw the ball. But they like to cover those inside guys, push in the quarterback's face, and then bring the linebackers from the outside.
With Rutledge holding, Allegre will try from 46 yards out. Certainly got enough, but it's wide right and no good, and so both teams have missed makeable field goal. Nothing, a minute 16 left first quarter.
That 3rd down blitz. See what happened? Here's Gary Cobb. He's going to come now. Bavaro is here, who could block him. He's looking over here. He comes over here, and then there's no one for Cobb. Watch Bavaro, 89. He's looking, he comes across, and then boom, here comes Cobb from the backside.
Michael Haddix, the lone setback. Jaworski, the quarterback. Haddix down to Spagnola. Spagnola gets to about the Giant 48. Kenny Hill, a tackle, an Eagle first down. A flag is down.
Looks like it's going to be holding against the Eagles. It was against Leonard Marshall. That'd probably be Joe Conwell holding him.
Number 63. First down.
Called against Ron Baker. Who doesn't believe it? I didn't do it.
He's the only real veteran there. He's been there 9 years. The center, left guard, and left tackle are all starting for the first time. The first year.
1st and 20. The ball back at the Eagles 18 with a minute 5 left in the first quarter. Long count. Just got it off. Jaworski high over the head of Spagnola. Kenny Hill again on the coverage.
We talked about that offensive line. Joe Conwell, Nick Hayden starting for his first time today. Center Matt Darwin. But they're doing a pretty good job of pass protection because Jaworski is getting the ball off. You know, they had a big overload in the middle that time. Boom, they picked it all up and let him take a shot at it. That Conwell, 79 there, he played in college with Lawrence Taylor, North Carolina. Said he remembers Taylor. He said, man, he was something there. He said, he's just gotten better.
2nd and 20. Jaworski back again. Trying a screen pass, gets it to Tartalatasi, who gets a block. Somebody took Kennard down. But Tartalatasi makes up all the lost yardage. Elvis Patterson knocked him out of bounds, but the Eagles get a first.
I tell you, Tartalatasi makes a great move here by waiting for a screen. Watch him, he gets the ball out here. Now he's in front of a screen there. You see him wait, now he slows down. Now he lets the screen, Baker, get out in front. Baker gets the block on Kennard, and that was the one that broke him for the first down. But he let his guy get out there.
That's just good running.
Well, Ron Baker was the guy who had the penalty that brought the play back. Then he was the guy who got the block that sprung it to get the yardage back.
And it's first down Eagles at their own 45. Jaworski in a hurry to Quick. Maybe 4. Elvis Patterson up. Call it a gain of 5 and make it 2nd and 5. It might be the last play of the first quarter.
Elvis Patterson is in there now for Mark Collins. I don't know if he just replaced him or if there was an injury to Collins. Of course, Patterson had been the starter and Collins had started the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Don't believe they'll get this one underway. At the end of 1 at Veterans Stadium, it's the Giants nothing and the Eagles nothing. Nothing as we begin the second quarter right at midfield. There is Mark Collins, the rookie, and his shoulder is the problem. You can see it's his left shoulder. He won't be back, our information is, for the first half, and they'll evaluate at halftime. Elvis Patterson has taken his place at 2nd and 5, midfield. Hand off to Haddix, who spins for just a couple, maybe 3. Reasons and Carson make the stop.
Tell you one thing, you could tell yesterday that this was a determined group, this Eagle group. Buddy Ryan had them in. They just had meetings, and then he called off practice. He said, heck, if we can't do it now, we're not going to be able to do it. He said, I don't want to practice anymore. Their legs are starting to swell up. We're just going to go out and have a war tomorrow.
Quick and Spagnola are split to the right. Jaworski out of the shotgun, a lot of pressure. And down he goes, Leonard Marshall. Second sack by the Giants, and Marshall was there with some company. Andy Hedden, I believe.
Well, there was a bunch of blue jerseys on that one. It looked like that whole left side. Watch the left side of the offense. Someone jumped off sides. There was movement before, but there Marshall's the first guy. Hedden's underneath it, and Lawrence Taylor was right there on top. You know, it looked like there's some movement there in the middle. Burt's the first guy off, Jim Burt. He gets the first thing. He makes the back take him, and that's probably why Andy Hedden was free.
McConkey standing back deep, waiting to receive Telchik's punt. Block. Eagles pick it up. Jeff Hostetler, number 15, the Giants' 3rd quarterback, was the one who broke through to block it, and the Giants will take over.
He does. He comes from the right side. Watch him. He's the end guy up there in the right side. Comes around. He's getting blocked. He makes a dive. He dove about 5 yards to get to that ball.
That's a heck of an effort for Hostetler. Giants get the turnover. 0-0 still. Well, John, the official word that we get on this block punt. Go ahead.
Well, here's Jeff Hostetler out here. We'll see him here. No one blocks him. He just comes, sprints, starts his dive right here. Boom. Gets a thing. Haddix sees him late and comes over. I think they were a guy short on that left side. See, they only had 10 guys in there. They had 3 on the right, and they only had 2 on the left. That was still a pretty good dive and block for a quarterback, though.
First block punt of his career. That comes as no surprise.
That could be the first block punt of any quarterback's career.
They say it's not a turnover. The official word is it is a 4-yard punt. Morris trying to get around the outside and gets a couple. Reggie White led the Eagle defense. A gain of 3. Final score: Houston beat Cincinnati by 4.
Those are the things that kill you as a coach. You know, you go out there and you have a pretty good game going, and then they put a quarterback in there to block a punt, and you only have 10 guys, no one to block them.
Second down and 7. 2 tight ends for the Giants from the Eagle 45. To Morris. Pile up after a gain of 1. Ken Clark and Reggie White again.
Yeah, I think we're seeing here with this Eagle defense, we're seeing what happens when a defense just gangs up on your run. In other words, they told us yesterday, what we're going to do is we're going to stop the run, we're going to stop Joe Morris. I saw that guy right there, Reggie White, when he was driving out of the parking lot. I said, how's it look for tomorrow? He says, all we have to do is stop the little guy. That's when you know you're big, is when they don't even call you by name or number, just the little guy.
And when you outweigh the little guy by 100 pounds, you're big too.
You ought to stop it.
Hand off to Galbraith. He breaks a couple. Flag is down back at the line of scrimmage. The Giants went on a quick count. Terry Hogue and Russell Gary.
Number 63. Third down.
Make the stop. Against the Giants. And they'll bring it all back.
That's against the right tackle, Carl Nelson. That's the thing that helped the Giants last week. Remember Phil Pozderac, the right tackle, moving early. That time it was a Giant right tackle.
Did you ever hear of an offensive tackle or a defensive end, for that matter, in the case of George Martin, getting more recognition or publicity than those two did last week?
Now, they were still talking about that one in this morning's paper.
Right. Sims out of the shotgun. Has time for a while. Gets it out to Galbraith. Galbraith might have gotten enough with the last dive for the first down. Picked up 12. Evan Cooper tripped him up, and that is enough.
Well, that's why Tony Galbraith is still on this team. He's the guy. They know he's the third down guy, the pass receiver. As Bill Parcells says, the day before he dies, he's going to make a move on someone coming out of the backfield and catch a pass.
He can still beat somebody coming out of the backfield. They know what he's going to do. They know Sims is going to him, and he still gets open. First down, Giants. Sims in the pocket. Gets it to Bavaro, and Bavaro gets down to about the 22. Reichenbach made the stop after a gain of 15.
You know, you see how things are opening up now. They started going to the outside receivers, started mixing up the pass and run, and now things open up. Bavaro starts to the inside, then works outside against Reichenbach. See, Reichenbach, he put up his arm to hold him. Bavaro just spun right around the hole.
Giant first down at the Eagle 22. Handoff Morris. Morris hit from behind by Seth Joyner. Nevertheless, got 4.
Joyner really knifed down in there. He was outside the tackle, and he came in about 3 guys to make that tackle.
It's a big guy, 241.
You know, that's what Buddy Ryan says. He says, he said, I'm saying things about now. In other words, we got to win now, but the things we're doing are for the future, playing young kids.
Like Seth Joyner. Handoff Morris. Back to the inside and into the end zone. Joe Morris. Slung to the ground late, and there goes the flag. Morris way down in the corner, had scored, was in there 8 or 9 yards when he was grabbed by Evan Cooper.
And that's one just out of frustration. There's no way that should happen.
He was 9-10 yard, almost out of the end zone. And Morris is still down there, sort of jammed up underneath the covering. And now he's up.
Of course, we see him at the end of it now. Cooper there's coming off a block. The play is really over, and he gives him that one more sling. And I I think, he knew it was a touchdown. And you play defense, you don't want that to happen. You don't want the guy to get in there. And then when he does, sometimes those things happen just out of frustration.
I think that's exactly right. He knows it. Teammates know it. Fans know it. Everybody knows it.
I think they took him off to the sideline, Evan Cooper there, and they talked to him, and then they put him back in just to make sure that he keeps his composure. It was still a pretty good run. Watch Bavaro there. He just shades his man to the outside. You see, it started to the right. He got a push on his man. Then he turned him the other way so that Morris could cut back.
Allegre for the extra point. Rutledge holding. 7-0 Giants. 10:20 left to play in the first half, and the Giants have taken the lead 7-0.
AT&T is in success stories for small.
Giants over the Eagles, 10:20 left to play, first quarter. In career rushing touchdowns, Joe Morris has just taken over second place, moved ahead of one former teammate of mine, and just behind another former teammate of mine.
But it took your former teammates a lot more years to do it than it did Joe Morris.
It won't be long.
Of course, it was less games, I know that.
Allegre kicked off from midfield because of that penalty against Morris. And the ball goes out of the end zone. The Eagles start from the 20. Next Sunday here on CBS, the NFL Today starts at 12:30. The Bears will be at Atlanta. Tom Zach started for the Bears today, but at the end of the game, the Bear quarterback was Doug Flutie.
Well, you know that when Mike Ditka signed Doug Flutie, that he was going to find a way to get him in the game. Right here, that next week, Jim McMahon's going to start again.
Supposed to be back. Tarlatasi starts the other way, and somebody really nailed Lawrence Taylor. Nick Hayden, I think, put the hammer on Hayden. They still lost 5 on Taylor. They still lost 5 yards.
I'll tell you, number 56 is a marked man. I mean, that's the guy that they're going to get. He had a great game against them last time. Now watch him. Jaworski tries to get him, and then the lineman comes off. You see Jaworski? Jaworski threw a block at the bottom of him.
Carson comes over to make the stop. And now there's a penalty against the Giants. Lawrence Taylor looking on. Still not sure about, it was a personal foul called against the Giants, I know that, but I'm not sure against whom. First and 10 Eagles. Jaworski looks right, now looks left, is sacked by Lawrence Taylor. With help from Eric Dorsey.
I think the last thing you want to do is fire up Lawrence Taylor. Watch from the top of the right-hand screen. Here he's going against Joe Conwell. He hits Conwell, then he comes back inside against Nick Hayden. So that time, Taylor took on 2 offensive linemen. Conwell first, and then boom, then Hayden, and then got the sack. That's doing it the hard way.
Make it 2nd and 14. The ball at the 25, and the Eagles call a timeout with 9:39 left to play in the first half. The Giants lead it. It's been tough so far, but the Giants lead 7-0. 9:39 left to play first half.
And Ditka's trying to keep the back-to-back Super Bowl dream alive. The turbulent Bears face the Falcons next Sunday on CBS Sports.
7-0 Giants over the Eagles. 9:39 left to play. The Eagles have it at their own 25, 2nd and 14. Flag. Jaworski out of of the pocket, chased and hammered by Carson. Another flag.
That's a bad-looking flag. That thing looks like it's been used. Look at that thing. It's
Like it's been out in the wind a while. Against the Giants. I think they jumped off sides first, and now they've called defensive holding. Flag looks like something you'd carry on the aerial of your truck. Freddie Wyant, the referee. Randall Cunningham warming up on the sideline behind the Eagle
holding
bench.
number 56. First down.
Against Lawrence Taylor.
I'll tell you, Taylor's gotten fired up. Let's watch what's happened here. Here we're going to see 62, Nick Hayden. See, here Jaworski throws him there. Hayden gets him right there. I think that play really got him fired up. Now here he comes on the next play. Watch, takes on the tackle. Boom, he takes on the guard. Whack, he gets Jaworski. Then, of course, he gets a holding penalty. But I think that one got all those burning things you got in your body fired up.
Safe to say he's involved. He's on the left side this time. Play goes up the middle, not very much. Maybe a yard. We're live at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, the home of the Eagles. It rained almost all day. It's stopped now. 8:59 left to play in the first half. That's the way things have taken place so far. Jeff Hostetler, the third quarterback, blocked that punt. Morris scored the touchdown. Both teams have missed a field goal. Second down and 9. Jaworski, incomplete. Intended. Jackson, no interference is ruled. It's like Quick, not Jackson. Jackson was on the other side. Perry Williams
was arguing there that Quick pushed him. Usually when you see a play like that and it's close, it's usually the offensive guy. Watch here, you see Quick's hand? Yeah, Quick did. He pushed Perry Williams right by him. Usually when they jump up, it's the offensive guy. Perry Williams was right.
The new quarterback, the long yardage quarterback for the Eagles, Randall Cunningham. 8.5 minutes left to play. He is usually put in this situation by Buddy Ryan. It's 3rd and 9, 3rd and long. He looks at a lot of those. Here comes a safety blitz. Ball intended for Jackson. Cunningham saw it coming. Perry Williams, the defender. And the Eagles will have to punt.
That's a tough thing for Randall Cunningham, though, coming in on 3rd down because he has more mobility, and they figure you're going to get the big pass rush. We see the Giants see it. They give him the rush. He gets it off, but it's not complete. Of course, he's had the Eagles lead the league in being sacked 46 times. 18 of them have been against Jaworski and 24 against Cunningham.
He's in there in those blitzing situations. Telchik back to punt. McConkey deep. They got everybody picked up this time. McConkey going to have to let it bounce. Says get away from it. And the Eagles down to the Giant 35. 32-yard punt, no return. 8:17 left to play in the first half. The Giants lead the Eagles 7-0. Games in your area. Going back to that last punt.
Of course, anytime you get a quarterback on special teams, after he blocks a punt, they're going to throw him around. See that? Spagnola just took Hostetler and threw him about 7 yards. Get off the field, punter.
Sims to Navarro. Complete down the middle. Navarro inside the Eagle 30. Gary Cobb again back there closest to Navarro. Cover him with a linebacker, and you're going to get burned.
See, they're using that double zone where both safeties come out of the middle. Then that means that the linebackers have to get on him. Cobb was number 50, and he really, in essence, on that play ends up man for man because the two safeties are deep.
First down, Giants, the give is to Morris. Morris the 22. Evan Cooper and Andre Waters again on the stop. Carthen, a good block.
Let's watch what happened on that play before. Here's Bavaro. He's going to be covered by a linebacker as he comes here, and the safeties get out of the middle. Once the safety comes out here, that's going to open up this middle area for Bavaro. See the safety rotate to this side? We can stop it now. See, the safety was over here, and Bavaro was in the middle.
2nd and 4, Miller in motion. This is Carthen's first carry of the day, and he pounds down inside the 20. Seth Joyner on the stop, along with Terry Hogue. He's down to about the 17. Gain of 5 for Carthen.
A lot of talk going on down there. You notice that? I think you get that in these division rivalry games. They will always be more talk than the non-division games.
Tony Dorsett just scored on a 13-yard run for Dallas to put them ahead of the Raiders, 10-3. 6:25 left to play at Veterans Stadium. The Giants on the move, and Morris behind and blocking is hit at about the 15. Flag down. Gain of 3. Cobb on the stop, holding against the Giants.
Holding, number 61.
Chris Godfrey is number 61. Been bothered by a bad ankle, but playing nevertheless.
I think Chris Godfrey has been playing very well. I think that whole offensive line has. You know, Brad Benson, you never talk much about him. And you see Billiard, Oates, Godfrey, Nelson. I think they've been doing an outstanding job.
1st and 20, back at the Eagle 27. Sims to throw. If he has time, and he doesn't. Greg Brown with the Eagles' 2nd sack and Brown's 2nd sack.
Brown gets around Brad Benson on that one. Watch, he's just going to run right upside him. See, he starts to the outside, gets that right hand in the back, pushes him beyond him, and then keeps coming. But once you can get those long arms behind the guy that's trying to block you, then you can push him towards you or pull him away to make that move beyond, if any of that makes sense.
Well, actually, what you do, I guess, John, is just use the other player's weight to help you get by.
That's what you do. When you can get your arm beyond him on his back, that's how you beat him in pass protection.
Bobby Johnson split wide to the left, McConkey to the right. Sims fakes to Morris. Up the field he goes, Bavaro. Bavaro is hit by Seth Joyner. A gain of 17 gets him back into field goal range. This is one tough guy right here.
Hey, he doesn't go down easily, but I think when the Giants were able to hit some of those outside passes, even though one was to Joe Morris, I think that then opened up the middle for him again. Then they started using double zones, gave him that middle. Now they can get Bavaro back in there. Now they can come back running with Joe Morris. I think their whole offense will fit together.
It'll be 3rd and 11. Sims back. Pass is intercepted by the Eagles, by Roynell Young, down at about the 17-yard line. Intended for Solomon Miller.
Bill Sims is probably saying, why did I go to that one? I was doing so well to Bavaro. I have to hit one to the outside receiver. He wasn't open. Roynell Young, man-to-man coverage, perfect coverage. Solomon Miller just didn't get open. Solomon Miller doesn't deserve to have the ball being thrown to him then, because he didn't do anything to beat Roynell Young, who everyone said is having his best year of his career.
So it's 1st down, Eagles, and Jaworski is back in at quarterback. 1st and 10, Philadelphia at their own 12. Handoff to Crawford. Crawford outside the 25 and out of bounds at about the 26 by Terry Kennard. This guy is 235 and solid.
And the two things that Buddy Ryan likes about him is He's from Oklahoma and he's tough. Of course, Buddy's from Oklahoma. You know how that is. Everyone, you know, like you go to Arkansas, everyone from Arkansas is tough. You're from Oklahoma, everyone from Oklahoma is tough. But then when you're 6'2", 235, and tough, it's pretty good to like him.
You can be from anywhere.
Arkansas or Oklahoma.
Jaworski look out. Jaworski ducks under the first man. Reasons was the second man. Lawrence Taylor was there. And Perry Williams came from the outside. The fourth sack, and Jaworski gets up limping.
That was that cornerback blitz where Perry Williams comes from the outside. Jaworski heard you say, look out. And he ducked. Williams went, boom, right over the top of him. But Reasons was there next. I'll tell you, that one always catches him. You know, that was from the outside, but watch the rest of it. There's Taylor on the inside, Marshall coming from the outside. Taylor gets him after Williams dove over.
And on the bottom of all that is Jim Burt.
Burt is on the bottom of everything, always on the bottom of all stuff.
Second down. They need about 18. Jaworski recovered. I think Jackson ran out of bounds. Even if the pass had been caught, Elvis Patterson on the coverage.
It's an interception.
It is an interception. The white hat I saw fly out of there. That meant he went out of bounds. And here's the interception by Patterson.
Watch, Patterson is going to push Kenny Jackson out of bounds. Now Jackson can't come back in and receive. But Patterson can and does intercept. So that white hat meant that Jackson can't come back in and catch the ball. That was a great play by Patterson. Knocked the guy out of bounds and intercepted. What more do you have to do?
Can't do it much better. Miller comes in motion. And Sims gives to Morris, and he's got a slot. Cut down inside the 30 at about the 29. A gain of 6. Andre Waters and Roynell Young made the stop.
You know, I would bet you, everyone talks about Joe Morris being small, 5'7", but he's real strong. We know all that. But I bet you, if you could take physics, like he's about 5'6", then you put 200 pounds in 5'6". I bet that's stronger than 250 pounds in 6'2", or 280 pounds in 6'7". You know what I mean?
Yeah. How long do I have to work it out?
Well, some guy in physics can do that, I think.
Here's Carthon straight ahead. Still shoving and pushing. If they mark it where he wound up, he has a first down. Terry Hogue finally wound up on the bottom of the pile.
Tell you one thing, in physics, though, they don't have to block. In physics, they just run. See, now here's Morris. He comes in, he sees the guy free, but the guy is a defensive lineman. And he thought, holy moly, I don't want any part of that deal. But he still, got down in there a little.
Still pushing. First down, Giants. 2:25 left in the first half. The ball's at the Eagle 24. Carthon again. Has some room to the outside. And again, he hammers down for good yardage. A gain of 8 for Maurice Carthon. Cobb finally made a stop.
Carthon did something that Joe Morris does. You take that thing up into the middle, there's no hole, and then bounce it out.
We'll get the 2-minute notification to both Bill Parcells and Buddy Ryan now. Giants leading 7-0 with 2 minutes left to play in the first half at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia.
Let's watch that run of Maurice Carthon again. He's going to start here, but end up over here, the way Joe Morris does. Now watch what. Look, he starts a run to the left. Now right now he sees this. He sees he got to block here, here, here. The only guy left right here is Reggie White, but Joe Morris will get him, and now Carthon can bounce all the way around it. See, they got him there, boom, Joe Morris gets his little block there, and Carthon takes a play that's supposed to go in the middle, outside right.
That'll bring up a 2nd and 2. McConkey moves, Morris gets the carry, and Morris tries to get back to the outside. Very nearly breaks it. Seth Joyner made the stop. Coming up at the half, don't forget, Brent Musburger, Irv Cross, and former Giant coach Allie Sherman with scores and highlights from around the league. All back in the studio in New York. First down, Giants. They're at the Eagle 13. Clock running with 1:25 left to play in the first half. Giants lead it 7-0. Sims to Morris. Morris burrows his way down inside the 10 to about the 7. Ken Clark and Reggie White finally made sure he stayed down. Score is 7-0. Total offense 211 for the Giants, 49 for Philadelphia. Giants down going for more. 2nd and 4. Less than a minute left to play first half. Morris again. Hit it about the 5. Terry Hogue and Greg Brown and Gary Cobb all there. They'll call a timeout and stop the clock. 2-yard gain. Giants will have 1 timeout remaining now. And while they take that timeout, let's run down some of the other scores. New Orleans upset the Rams 6-0. Jets over Atlanta 28-14. New England 30, Indianapolis 21. Redskins beat Green Bay to stay at least tied for first in the NFC East. Buffalo over Pittsburgh. Welcome to Marv Levy. Kansas City over Seattle. Houston beat Cincinnati. Minnesota 24-10 over Detroit. The Giants play there next week. Chicago 23-3 over Tampa Bay. Don't forget the Giants, as I said, will go to Minnesota next week. 12:30 Eastern time. It begins with the NFL today and a red-hot quarterback they'll face. And what Bill Parcells said to us yesterday, Minnesota not only has a hot Tommy Kramer, they have an excellent defense.
You know, I thought it was surprising that the day before the Eagle game that Bill Parcells was talking about the Minnesota Vikings, even thinking about the Vikings. So, you know what he's doing now. I'll bet you that sometime this week he took a peek to see what he was going to have to go against next week.
I would imagine he did and has. And it might be a little bit more than a peek.
It may be a peek that caused a scare when you see Tommy Kramer. The way, I mean, he's one of those guys that can throw 5 touchdown passes.
3rd and 1 at the 5 with 41 seconds left to play. McConkey goes in motion. The handoff, as you would expect, to Morris. He's going to be close to a first down. Again, Terry Hogue up to make the stop.
I think that's going to be a 4th down. It's going to be an interesting decision for Bill Parcells here, because I don't think he made that pass.
No, he didn't.
He was in the I formation as he was way deep.
They have 1 more timeout remaining. I think Parcells is going to wait, run it down, then take the timeout, and then send his field goal team in. That's what he's indicating. Wait till it gets down to 3 or 4 seconds, and then call your timeout.
You know, that could be a big lift for the Eagles. It's something that the Giants, you know, when you go in the locker room, you like to have the big play, the momentum going your way. You know, there's always a possibility down here in this situation where you have less than a couple yards of a fake field goal.
Well, you know, they did it to the Eagles in the first game, and Rutledge threw a touchdown pass to Harry Carson. I'm sure they're aware of that. Allegre comes on.
I wonder if the Eagle defense is going to be pointing out Harry Carson. Watch Carson for the pass. Watch Carson for the pass. I would think that they probably won't come with a big rush here because of that.
And because it's such a short field goal, I think you go ahead and kick away.
Well, as you always said, you can call them short field goals. You just can't call them chip shots, because there's no such thing as a chip shot or an automatic to a kicker.
It's like a short putt in golf. They're all tough. This will be from 22 yards away. Allegre with Rutledge holding.
Places, and by
The Giants 10 and the Eagles nothing.
Right Places, and by Oldsmobile Quality. Feel it at your nearest Oldsmobile dealer.
Ready for the second half. Pat Summerall and John Madden. The Giants leading the Philadelphia Eagles 10-0. And looking at the halftime statistics.
Well, you can see right there the Giants do have the balanced offense now, and really you look at the Eagles side, the Giant defense has just about shut them out.
Allegre's kickoff to Keith Byers goes 6 yards deep in the end zone, and the Eagles take over at their own 40. At their own 20, sorry. Jaworski is still the quarterback. 5 out of 12, 55 yards, the 1 interception. And of course, as John Madden said, that interception plus the blocked punt, which really didn't go as a blocked punt because it went past the line of scrimmage. It went as a 4-yard punt.
That was really the play that started everything.
Jaworski on first down. Whips it quickly out to Tuttle Tassi. He gets one block and gets very near a first down. Mark Collins has a slight shoulder separation, not expected to return. Just looking up at the board, the scoreboard here, where they have a quiz every week. Which 3 sports announcers, CBS sports announcers, were drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles? I know Tom Brookshire was one. I know you were one. I wonder who the other.
I don't know. Jimmy the Greek?
Maybe. Maybe.
I don't think it was Brent Musburger.
No. Dick Vermeil? No. Pass is caught by Haddix, and he wishes he hadn't, because Harry Carson met him at the pass. Irv Cross. Irv Cross is the other one. An all-pro team.
Well, I knew it was someone from the NFL today. I mean, that's why I said Jimmy the Greek and Brent. I knew it was one of those 3. I just couldn't remember Irv. But it was one of those guys that are down in the studio.
Boy, you got out of that graciously. I knew it wasn't Hank Stram. Second and 14. Of the game. Jim Burt stopped Junior Tartalatasi. He had no place to go.
That's probably a first there where Jim Burt tackled a player after reception. Look at that takedown that Leonard Mitchell had on Lawrence Taylor. Then the completion, and then the nose tackle making the tackle.
And Taylor still
back in there.
And arrived. It's 3rd and 25.
I don't know what you call that thing Leonard Mitchell did to Taylor. I don't think it was a block. It was more like a sling. He slung him.
Cunningham again in a difficult situation. 3rd and 25. The ball all the way back at the 15. He can run. Ball batted in the air by Patterson and picked off by Gary Reason. He fumbles. The ball goes out of bounds, and the Giants will have it. That's something we've seen Patterson do a couple of times, and a scuffle breaks out. Burt's on the bottom of the pile again, and out in the air. Patterson batted the ball in the air. Reasons came down with it. Burt, not sure which side of the field he wants to go to.
He's still talking about it. Elvis Patterson gets the tip up like a volleyball thing. Watch him. He comes in, tips the ball up with his left hand. Reasons is coming the other way. He picks it off. Then they turn to form a convoy in front of him. That's a pretty good return. Then at the end of that, some rumbling starts. Jim Burt's just now getting off. He's not off yet. He went to the Eagles side to talk to him about that.
First down, Giants. They're at the Eagle 18. Miller goes in motion. Handoff is to Maurice Carthon. And he hammers inside the 15 to about the 13. Gary Cobb stops him after a gain of 5.
Now, as we look at Joe Morris here, he has 74 yards rushing he had in the first half. Last week against the Cowboys, he had 125. So I think they tried to take a little of the burden off him, and they've done that.
Last 3 weeks, rushing yards at the half, all 3 of them more than that. Fumble, and I think the Eagles came out of there with it. Nope, Morris got it. It looked like it went behind Sims, and he couldn't get a handle on it. Then Morris came up with it.
Look at him laugh. He looks so proud. He looks like, you know, the kid that finds the golden egg on Easter. You know, there's one golden one out there. He found that one. The Giants really haven't had as much problem with that. Remember last year they had trouble with the snap all the time? Look at Singletary right there. He should have had it. He put it there. I think it slipped and hit his shoulder pads right underneath him and into Joe Morris.
3rd and 8. Sims back to throw. As the time gets it to Bavaro. Bavaro inside the 10 to about the 7. The Eagles come out with the ball, headed in the other direction. Mike Reichenbach. Seth Joyner made the stop on Bavaro. He's close to a first down, and I think he has it.
Here comes Bavaro. You see, he's trying to sneak there. He comes off the line, trying to sneak under those linebackers, and then turn the ball up the field. Evan Cooper picked it up there. He thought that was a fumble. Bavaro was down.
Bavaro got the first down. It's 1st and goal from the 8. 11:03 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Giants up 10-0. About the 3, and again the ball flies loose. Morris got 5 before he went down. Cobb on the stop, and the Giants keep the football.
See, Morris made like 3 moves on that play from the I formation. He starts right, goes left, back right. I mean, he has great vision. He's going full speed. Watch it. He starts to the left, then he cuts back to the right, then he cuts back to the left. All like, you know, like zig, zag, zig. And all going full speed.
2nd down and goal from the 3.
Go 19! Sit! Hut!
Morris into the end zone. Sheer strength. Gary Cobb took the ride. They had Roberts in the backfield.
That was their refrigerator form. They got Roberts, a tackle in the backfield.
No.
He's leading through.
It's Damian Johnson. It's not Roberts.
Excuse me, it was Johnson. He leads through, but you see that physics thing I was talking about, the ride that Joe Morris gave to Gary Cobb.
Morris has scored both touchdowns. 18 carries, 82 yards. Allegre to try the extra point. Ostetler holding. Beg your pardon, Rutledge holding. Left to play 3rd quarter. Giants 17-0.
William Roberts here at tight end. Damian Johnson a tackle. Here he's a tackle. There's a tackle, a guard, and here comes Mowat. That's about 1,000 pounds of guys over here, and then Morris powers it in. Watch, they get all these big guys, all the beef over here in the left. But watch what Morris does to Cobb. He's hit there at the 3, drive, end zone. I mean, he took that big linebacker and drove him about 4 yards.
Really amazing how strong he is. Allegre's kickoff goes in the direction of Keith Byars at the goal line. The Eagles' #1 draft choice. Byars stepped out of bounds, it seems, at about the 32. Lee Roussan finally stopped him. And Cunningham now is coming out at quarterback for the Eagles. They trail 17-0 with 9:52 left in the 3rd quarter.
Well, you know, Buddy Ryan said that if Jaworski is having trouble, if they're having trouble with pass protection, he said he's going to go to Cunningham.
And he has made that move now. The Eagles have it 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line. On 1st down, it's Haddix, who gets only 2 yards, perhaps, maybe 3.
Hey, right on the bottom of that pile or in the middle of the action is going to be Jim Burke. I think he plays as well and as steady as any nose tackle. You know, sometimes you always think of him as an overachiever. You know, a guy that wasn't drafted, came in, made it the hard way, plays in the pit, has his numbers spread all across his body, but he has good talents too. He has real quick hands, good strength, all those things.
And he works very hard. Cunningham is hit. Does well to hold on to the ball as Leonard Marshall breaks free and picks up the Giants' 5th sack.
You know, he works so well over there with Lawrence Taylor. Here's Marshall here. They're always worried about this guy. He takes the inside. If you don't get him strong here, he's going to be right by you. You know what? Taylor is on his outside. Marshall just powers right by. Both the guard and the tackle were looking for Taylor. And no one blocked Marshall. He come untouched, unscathed.
Free. Clean. 3rd down and 13 at the 29. Here comes another Giant blitz, and they're all over Randall Cunningham. He's out of it, but they're going to say he's in the grasp, and they'll bring it all back.
I don't know about that one. If he was in anyone's grasp, it had to be Byron Hunt. They put Byron Hunt over on the right this time. Look, they have Marshall, Taylor. Okay, here we have Marshall, Taylor, Byron Hunt. Really overloading. Hunt is the guy that gets him. Number 57 is the guy that I think. Then they also have Welsh coming on the blitz up the middle, but watch him right there. I don't know. I guess that's a grasp.
Close.
He wasn't in a very good position to tackle him.
McConkey will handle this kick. That's a good one back inside his own 30. From behind, McConkey is taken down by Dwayne Giles. 50-yard punt. A 2-yard return, a net of 48. It's 17-0 with 8:09 left to play 3rd quarter. On their 8-2, the Giants trying to match that figure. Dallas leads 10-3 at the half. And then you look beyond that at record within the division. If the Giants win, they would be 5-1 and tied with Dallas as records within the division. And I guess with 6 games to go after today, you have to start thinking about those things.
I would think so. I mean, I could see that this is the most competitive division in the NFL, and I could really see all 3 of those teams being in the playoffs. This Giant team, Dallas is always going to be up there near there, and the Redskins, they don't get as much credit as the other, but I could see all 3 of those teams being in the playoffs this year.
We'll see the Redskins in a couple of weeks. Here goes Sims back to throw. 17-0 they lead, but he wants more, and there's nothing there. Solomon Miller was the intended receiver. Greg Brown put some pressure on Sims.
I tell you, that ball came out of there funny, like he got his hand up over the ball or something, because it came out flat. Brown's going to hit her. Oh, that's why it came out flat. Heck, if you got hit like that, it would come out flat with you, too.
And you'd come out flat.
No, but I was watching that ball, came and it just like it died, like the last shot out of a Roman candle.
2nd down and 10, Giants from their own 31. Sims gets to Morris. Morris outside the 35, a pickup of 7 or 8, 6 perhaps. Over on the sideline, the new head coach of the, I don't know if you could say he's still new. This is the 10th game. Buddy Ryan. Unique.
I'll tell you, Buddy believes in 2 things. He said he wants tough, smart players. And of course, eventually, you know, you hope that the talent comes with that smart, tough package.
You hope they're big and fast at the same time. Tony Galbraith. Here comes an Eagle blitz. Sims is hit just as he lets it go over the head of Galbraith. Gary Cobb is the man who led the blitz. New coaches. 1985 against 1986 going into today. Jim Mora, Gene Stallings, Buddy Ryan here, Jerry Burns of the Vikings, and of course there are two more new ones now. San Diego and Buffalo.
Yeah, the interesting thing, none of those guys were doing better than the guy did the year before. Maybe that has something to do with the players.
Here's Landeta. High kick to Garrity. Garrity fields it. It goes out of bounds. And there's a penalty marker. Looks like it'll be against the Giants. Looks like Landeta might have another chance.
Doesn't Landeta's helmet look like it's always squeezing his head?
Yeah.
Like if you really had a hit, see that there's not a scratch on that helmet. That helmet hasn't had contact, but if it ever did, it would just squeeze and your eyes may pop out.
Eligible man downfield, number 55, fourth down.
Still fourth down. He'll punt again.
See now there, you look at reasons. I mean, good helmet, good face mask on there. You know, got the thing going there. Looks like it's not too tight. Zeke Mowat behind him. Big face mask, nice. And then that looks like it's squeezing.
Well, he's just got that single bar on there.
Well, either has, or maybe he has less helmet and more forehead. There's more forehead and stuff.
Maybe.
Sticking out.
Fair catch back at his own 22-yard line. But another flag down. That one was 47 yards.
I tell you, those were two great punts by Sean Landeta, though. He's probably getting more confidence with each one. He wants to kick it again.
He wants us to have another look at it.
Holding, number 24, after the kick. First down.
That could be a big penalty. See, if that's before the kick, then the Giants would get to keep the ball. Since it was after the kick, then it goes on down. The Eagles have the ball.
Russell Gary is number 24. Giants leads 17-0.
You know, in the first punt, Gary Reasons was the guy that they called leaving before the ball was kicked. Now he comes here, he gets beyond the line of scrimmage before the ball's kicked, but he's the guy that's in the backfield. Here's the ball. Now watch where the line of scrimmage is. He starts running now, and now we stop it. Now you see he's beyond that point. You hardly ever see the fullback get called for that.
Cunningham comes out of the pocket. Chased by Taylor. Slides for a first down outside the 30. Herb Welch back there as well. Taylor rolled back to the inside and lost sight of Cunningham. And that's when he came out of there.
Let's look and see. You know, when you get a guy like Cunningham, you just watch it here. Now he gets back and he's ready to throw. Now we'll be able to see why he runs. You see, everything here is in here. He sees this whole line that he can take off. But see, that's why he ran. That's what he saw.
He gets an Eagle first down with 6 minutes left. Flags are down all over the place. Somebody must have jumped.
False start, number 62. First down.
Hayden, the new left guard. The Raiders have tied the Cowboys at 10. Touchdown pass from Jim Plunkett to Dokie Williams. They're in the third quarter.
We talked about Tony Galbraith being the guy that's always going to catch that ball coming out of the backfield. Jim Plunkett's always going to come off the bench and throw a touchdown pass.
First and 15 at the 26. Cunningham back to throw. Kenny Jackson Jackson makes the reception. Elvis Patterson on the coverage.
He had a great battle there going with Patterson. Watch Patterson up there in tight man-to-man coverage. Boom, hits him, has him, then grabs him, starts to the inside, and still caught that ball. They could have called a penny on Patterson, but that was pretty good keep going it by Jackson. Watch Jim Burt there in the center. You see that action in there? Boom, you get a little spinner at the end. Pretty good pass protection though.
A gain of 12 brings up 2nd and 3 at the Eagle 38. Giants leading 17-0. 5 minutes left, third quarter. The handoff goes to Byers, who springs away from one man and is finally out of bounds. At about the 46 for an Eagle first down, a gain of 9. Herb Welch, who has replaced Kenny Hill, took him down.
You know, Byers was replaced. The last time they played the Giants was the last time Byers started. I guess Buddy Ryan thought that he was responsible for Lawrence Taylor on some of those blitzes. But Byers says that doesn't bother me, what he thinks, because I know what I can do, and I still have the same confidence in myself.
The Eagles' first-round draft choice, 6'1", 230. A lot of twos. Handoff is to Crawford, or Haddix. He only got a couple of yards. The Eagles do have a lot of big, young, promising backs. That doesn't mean that they're there yet.
Well, they aren't, and then they have a big, young, promising offensive lineman, line group that aren't there either. So that's one of their problems. They got too many young, promising guys that may someday be there, but they aren't today.
2nd and 8, 2 tight ends for the Eagles. Byers, the lone setback. Cunningham flushed out of the pocket again. Goes incomplete. Spagnola was the intended receiver. Next week, the Bears go to Atlanta to face the Falcons, who've been struggling of late. They lost today to the Jets. The Bears won. You hear a lot of rumors and information floating around about the Bears, but they still are leading their division and headed playoff-wise again. Byers and Haddix are the two backs behind Cunningham. Can't find anybody, but can buy some time. Lawrence Taylor took the stiff arm and took Cunningham down for a loss of 2.
I'll tell you, that is something. He's going to start, roll to the left, find nothing. Roll back to the right, find nothing. Good coverage. See, there's no one open. Roll back to the right, find nothing. Now try the stiff arm. That doesn't work with Taylor. I'll tell you, this is one of the best games that I've seen Lawrence Taylor play this year. I mean, he is a dominant factor today.
The 7th sack, as he was in the first game that they played, as he was against the Redskins. McConkey standing back, a rocket punt. McConkey will let that one soar over his head. That takes a good Eagle bounce. That's an outstanding punt. The Eagles down it. Charles Crawford there. $17-0. Giants over the Eagles. Next Saturday it's college football, a doubleheader in fact here on CBS. Game 1, the Ohio State Buckeyes against Wisconsin. That all begins at 12 Eastern time. Game 2 will be UCLA against Washington or Clemson against Maryland. Doubleheader time here on CBS. College football next week. Telchik's punt downed at the 5 by Crawford. And the Giants will take over their 1st and 10. 3:23 left to play third quarter. Morris and Carthon still are the runners behind Sims. And they now go with 2 tight ends, Moat and Bavaro. Sims to Morris. To about the 7. Right now for an NFL update. let's take you back to New York and Brent Musburger.
Well, Pat, the St. Louis Cardinals had put a move on San Francisco, but Cliff Stout's pass is picked off by Jim Fonhorst here, and that saves a potential touchdown. The Cardinals had closed to within 13. San Francisco still ahead. Back to Pat and John.
All right, Brent here in Philadelphia. The Giants 17, Philadelphia nothing. Clock running, third quarter. Carthon is the lone setback. Morris is split out to the left. Sims semi-rollout. Fires deep, intended for Solomon Miller, who had slipped down. Couldn't get up in time to find a handle.
I can see why he's shaking his head. I would be too. I mean, you know, you come out of there, you're coming out, you're rolling out, you hit a guy, he doesn't catch it. I mean, Solomon Miller, he threw him one before, and, you know, he just didn't get open. It was intercepted. So you say, you know, why do you not have confidence? Why do you only, you know, complete 1 out of your 8 to your wide receivers? Then that makes you rely more on your running back and your tight end.
That's just common sense.
Yeah, that makes you shake your head.
Sims gives straight ahead to Tony Galbraith. He is stopped by the Eagle, the middle of the defense. Bernard Wilson and Terry Hogue up there to press things. So Landeta will have to punt out of his own end zone. Garrity, number 86, who almost scored on the final play of the game last week against St. Louis for the Eagles on a play that would have won the game. You stopped at about, it appeared to me, about the 1 yard line, right?
Right, he ran it all the way down and time ran out. People said he should have got tackled, he should have called timeout and kicked the field goal, but he gave it everything he had.
The Eagles jumped off sides. It will not be enough, if it is indeed against Philadelphia. It will not be enough if the offside penalty is against them for a first down.
I think Landeta fumbled that ball anyway. It better be against the Eagles. I think the whistle blew before the ball was snapped.
False start.
But watch Landeta here. He fumbled that ball as he went down. That was hot potato, man. He's not going to touch that thing. That looked a little like that thing that happened in Chicago.
I was just thinking that.
It was the same end zone coming out like that, and he did a whiff job on it. Maybe that's what he's thinking about.
It was a good snap by Bart Oates. Landeta now standing back. It was against the Giants, so somebody did move. Landeta gets it out of there. Not his best, but away from the return man, and the Eagles are going to get it at about their own 49-yard line. 47-yard punt. I said it wasn't good, but that's not bad. Look what the New Orleans Saints did to Eric Dickerson. 6-0. Saints win. Jets over Atlanta. O'Brien 322 yards. Colts still without a win. Washington 16-7 over Green Bay. Buffalo beat Pittsburgh. Kansas City playing better and better, it would seem. Or Seattle on the downside. And Houston beat Cincinnati. First down, Philadelphia.
And the I told you so's as a result today are going to be 1-1. Because what's going to happen, the Rams spent the whole week in New Orleans. So everyone's going to say, I told you they were going to lose. But the one on the other side that I'm real happy for is Joe Montana played after that back surgery and didn't get injured. I mean, that's something happened to him. They were going to say, well, I told you he couldn't have played.
Montana, by the way, John, has thrown 3 touchdown passes already today against the Cardinals. All 3 to Jerry Rice.
So that's a -1, I told you so.
Cunningham to Quick. Incomplete. And for an NFL update, let's take you back again to Brent Musburger in New York.
Well, Pat, you and John were talking about Joe Montana. What a magnificent day. Look at this pass. His third scoring strike to Jerry Rice. 45, 41, 44 yards. And John Madden, it's a magnificent day in the city by the bay. Back to Pat and John.
Well, it's an amazing story. I mean, Joe Montana is still a young quarterback. But he's up in that 30 range, and you just don't heal that quickly. Unless you're Joe Montana. Tatalotasi, the ball carrier, gets into Giant territory. A gain of 2. Andy Hedden tripped him up.
Yeah, we saw that touchdown pass to Jerry Rice, and it would be interesting, who you would pick. I think 2 of the best offensive players right now in the whole league are Al Toon and Jerry Rice. And they remind me a lot of each other. I don't know which one I would take. They're both dominant offensive players.
They're both big, both tall, 6'4". Both of them can really run, and more importantly, they both have great stamina. Third down and 8. Cunningham trying to get out of the pocket, trying to get the ball down the sideline. Garrity was the intended receiver. It's incomplete. Cunningham chased by George Martin this time.
George Martin was really chasing Cunningham. I don't know that Garrity didn't sneak a peek behind him, though. Watch him here. Watch the pressure. Here comes Martin. Cunningham's telling him where to go.
Martin and Marshall over on the sideline. Telchik in the punt again. Longest he just got off a minute ago, 51 yards.
He's counting all his guys to make sure he has 10 out there.
McConkey back. Another good kick. McConkey let this one fly. And again, the Eagles are going to down it inside the 5 at about the 1. Garrity was the Eagle who slapped it backwards. Seth Joyner downed it at the 1. We're at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, the home of the Eagles. Not a very happy home today as the Giants lead 17-0 with 46 seconds left in the third quarter. Morris has 115 total yards. That includes receiving as well as rushing. 2 touchdowns, and the Giants lead it 17-0. The Eagles have the Giants pinned down now, and this is Maurice Carthon. He gets a little breathing room out to about the 7, stopped by Terry Hogue again.
I think when the Giants get a lead of 17-0 and they know the Eagles can't do anything, I mean, they don't have any firepower, then they can just make it a game against the clock. Let the third quarter run out now, get into the fourth quarter, and just keep a ball control type of thing, because unless they do something stupid, there's no way the Eagles can win.
Down to 12 seconds left in the third quarter, about 8 on the 30-second clock. They'll get off one more play. Carthon moves. With 1 second to go, Sims watching that clock. Morris, the ball carrier, gets to about the 5. Mowat, a little shoving match with Cobb. Schultz made the stop, a loss of 1. And that's the end of the third quarter. With the score, the Giants 17, Eagles nothing. We now pause for a word from your local station.
For normal or sensitive skin, an extraordinary shave at an extraordinary price.
3rd and 6, Giants. Sims fakes, that might be a safety. That's going to be close. If he got out, he barely got out, and he must have. Dwayne Giles brought him down. A busted play, I'm sure.
I don't know that it was. It could have been a bootleg. Because they, in that third down, they run that draw to Galbraith a lot. It looked like he either missed the handoff or he was going on an organized bootleg. But that looked like a safety for me. To me, from here.
Sure looked close. I thought they had him. Landeta standing back, the back of the end zone. He's got to be careful not to step on that white mark. He doesn't. Gets it out of there. Off the side of his foot, Garrity. Let it bounce. And the Giants down at the Eagles 38. A punt of 37. Andy Hedden downed it.
Let's look at that play again. Yeah, I think he was faking that. See, he was faking that. He was going to run the bootleg. But you see, his knees were inside, but the ball was outside. They never got the ball into the end zone, so they didn't get the 2-point safety.
But But the Eagles do take over 1st and 10 at the Giant 37-yard line. 14 minutes, 4 seconds left to play, and the Giants leading 17-zip. Outside of Mike Quick. Quick swings back inside. Gets down to about the 31, a gain of 6. Terry Kennard brought him down, along with Harry Carson.
You know, until now, the Eagles only had 19 yards of total passing. And that's one of the problems, because their two best players, or their best player anyway on offense, is probably Mike Quick. And I think they just have to get the ball to him. They have 2 first-round draft choices, a wide receiver, Quick and Kenny Jackson. And they just don't get the ball to those guys.
They really haven't had time to get the ball to anybody wide. 2nd and 4. Hand back. Gets it outside of Tuialotosi. He has enough, I believe, for an Eagle first down. Out of the backfield, a gain of 5, and that would be enough. Andy Hedden tackled him. San Diego beating Denver 9-3. All field goals in that match. Septien has just kicked the field goal in the 3rd quarter for Dallas, and the Cowboys lead the Raiders 13-10. First down, Philadelphia at the Giant 26. Cunningham back. Pumps. Gets away from one man. In zone for Quick. Over his head and out of his reach. Harry Williams, the defender. Taylor has been chasing Cunningham for the last hour.
I'll tell you, I think Cunningham is used to that. I mean, that's how he's breaking in this league. Breaking into the league, coming in as a 3rd and long. Now, of course, he's playing every down, but that's what they do. They chase him around. I don't know. You know, I think his first instinct is always going to be run out of the pocket, run left or run right. And probably after, you know, he gets started again, they're probably going to have to calm him down to hang in there, stay in there.
Tell you what, he's a heck of an athlete. He was a high jumper in high school. High jump 6'8".
Remember his brother Sam Bam?
Sure.
He used to high jump over the line of scrimmage.
The Tuialotosi. Spinning, not doing much with all the maneuvers. Carson, Taylor, and Andy Hedden there.
But I still think, you know, Mike Quick has only caught 2 passes for 11 yards, and Kenny Jackson 1 for 12. And eventually, to open up this thing, to really get some explosive power, they're going to have to get the ball to their wide receivers.
Well, it's been a frustrating day for both teams as far as wide receivers are concerned. Bill Parcells watching his team shut out the Eagles. 3rd and 7 at the Giant 23. Time this time. Incomplete. Intended for Garrity. Elvis Patterson slapped it down.
You know, Bill Parcells says that you have to cover or rush different ways when Cunningham is in there. Watch what they do with Lawrence Taylor. When Cunningham is in there, they know he can rush, so they're just having Taylor mirror him. You see, he just stands right in front of him and doesn't let him run. So that's the thing. You let the rest of your guys tee off and just have Taylor mirror.
The Eagles run a fake field goal. And Quick gets the touchdown. Matt Cavanaugh threw it, but there's a flag on the play. They lined up in a hurry. Flag goes up again. And that one went straight up. That was an angry flag.
Well, the second one, that's going to be against the Eagles sideline or bench. Buddy Ryan said that he had a fake field goal.
There's a penalty flag still down in the end zone. I don't know if anybody wants to claim that one or not.
Well, and there's a couple of them down here around the 25.
Illegal motion. We have unsportsmanlike conduct, and we have pass interference. 1st down, replay.
That was a full package.
Well, that's why there were so many flags down there, one for each different thing.
procedure, unsportsmanlike conduct, and pass interference. And now what's happening?
And now there's another one against the Eagles. Jerry Bergman.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 82.
The official just called another one against Mike Quick.
A dead ball foul is the latest bit of information.
Well, they had four. You see, they fake come up. Just Quick was on the sideline. I don't think Quick went off. I don't think he was in the formation. I think he lined up on the sideline. I think that was one of those hidden player tricks.
The sleeper. You remember that?
Yeah, the old sleeper play where he goes like he's going off the sideline. I think that's what it is, and then just ran down. Matt Cavanaugh just stood up, boom, and hit Quick down the sideline.
Quick is in the slot to the right. It's 4th and 21. And Cunningham is going to take off with it and not get anywhere near the first down. That was 4th down. Reasons made the stop. A scramble of 12, but all it did was use time.
How many penalties were on that play now?
4, I think.
Yeah. There was a pass interference in the end zone, illegal motion, then there was a one on Mike Quick, and then one on the bench, I think. So that was 4 penalties.
11:25 left to play, and the Giants up by 17. Giants 17, the Eagles nothing. And confusion on the last play. Let's see.
Here was the play that caused all the formation. See, here's the formation right here, and you see that there's no receiver. Mike Quick is out on the sideline. Look here, they're pointing. He's out there. There's a guy out there. Okay, now what happens? Now the ball is snapped to Cavanaugh, and then we'll see what happens after this play.
In the meantime, we come back to Joe Morris carry. As he tries to go right, gets a couple.
See, now here's the other half of the play. We see Leonard Marshall pointing out there. He starts to come out. Mike Quick lined up out there in the sideline, ran right down the sideline, caught the touchdown. Lawrence Taylor was the closest guy to him. And, of course, they had all the penalties.
2nd down and 9. Giants, 10:50 left to play. Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Giants at their own 37. Sims to Morris again. Joe looking for some place to go and finds a little room this time. About 2 yards shy of a first down. He got 7. Terry Hogue tripped him up.
Joe Morris is getting close to that 100 yards. I would think that Joe Morris has had a tough 2 weeks. You know, that he had that short week. He had the big game against Washington, short week, big game against Dallas. Now he's getting close. I think with this lead, I would probably take him out very shortly.
He has 97. He needs 3. They need 2 for a first down. And it'll be Morris. He won't get it on this carry. It'll be 4th down. They'll have to punt. Reggie Singletary was the first man to knock him down.
You know, those hits there, they start counting up. You know, and people say, well, he didn't take a lot of hits, or it was an easy 181 yards. But watch this. There's boom, boom, 2, boom, 3, boom, 4, 5, and a 6 coming over the top. I mean, that's 6 white jerseys on you. That's just one little play.
Landetta's 6th punt of the day coming up. Garrity back deep for the Eagles. Another good kick. Chases Garrity all the way back to his 15. And the Giants are there in a hurry. Greg Lasker was the first man down there. 51-yard punt by Landetta. But a flag is down back at the line of scrimmage. Against the Giants. They'll do it all over again.
Well, last time it was Gary Reasons who was the fullback. the guy who's the personal protector for the punter. Wonder if it was him again.
Number
Fred Wyant.
55, ineligible downfield, 4th down.
And it is him again. Usually it's someone on the line, an interior line. Reasons, watch him, 55 here. He's right there. He's here. Now usually it's one of these guys, but he sees no one coming. He gets a run on it, and he leaves before the ball's kicked. See him, he starts up, 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 up. Now he's too far. That's the second time they've caught him. And he's really the quarterback of the punt coverage team. See him, he's giving instructions and stuff.
If anybody breaks free, it's his job to pick him up. Here he goes again. This time, no flag. This time, another good kick. Coverage is good again. Pepper Johnson was down first. A 52-yard punt by Landeta that time, a return of 6. 8:59 left to play, and the Giants leading by 17. Hughes have aided them today. 2 interceptions, 1 missed field goal, 7 sacks the Giant defense has had. They've blocked 1 punt, and then the touchdown on the fake field goal to Quick was canceled by a penalty.
Even the real good teams couldn't get away with that.
Here's Cunningham. To Quick, and this one is gone. From Cunningham to Quick.
Well, that's what they have to do. Mike Quick is their best offensive player. They have to get the ball out there, getting pressure. Here he finds Quick. It's in a form of double coverage. I think Terry Kennard, number 43, the safety, came over too flat, and he let Quick get in behind him. In fact, he looked like he had a little lapse there.
Good throw by Cunningham. McFadden for the extra point. The Eagles finally get on the board with 8:49 left to play. The extra point is good, and it's 17-7. 8:49 left to play. The Eagles now cut that lead to 10. 17-7.
Are in first place, a Giant win, and they would be back in a tie. Earlier this afternoon, the Redskins defeated the Packers 16-7. Watch this beautiful reception here by Saunders. He comes back on the pass from Schrader, works over the Packer cornerback and gets on in, and it was 16-7. At the moment, the Dallas Cowboys are playing the Los Angeles Raiders, and the Cowboys are up 13-10. They are in the 4th quarter. There have been a total of 10 turnovers. Now, next week on the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern, we'll take a look at the tight race in the NFC East. Now, the Giants will be playing Minnesota. Let's go back to Pat Summerall. Pat?
Well, the Eagles have just scored, Brent, at 17-7. We have 8:49 left to play at Veterans Stadium. McFadden set to kick off. The ball blew off the tee, so he's called in help to hold it. Lee Roussan is number 22. Back there with number 80, Phil McConkey for the Giants. It'll be to McConkey at the 6. To the 30.
You know, in that last touchdown, Pat, I still have no idea what Terry Kennard right here is doing. They got a motion. Here they got to form a double coverage. He hits Quick here. Kennard runs this way, and Quick is beyond him. Now watch the angle that Kennard takes. Quick is the outside guy again, coming up. See, he gets by here. Now watch him. He's just going straight up. Now watch right here. See, Kennard took that flat angle, and Quick was 5 yards behind him.
And the Giants take over now. 1st and 10 from their own 31. This is Joe Morris. And Morris outside the 35, about the 37. That should put him pretty close to the 100 yards. Ron Jaworski, who started at quarterback, that's his book on the day. Word from the Eagles is that he has a torn tendon in the little finger on his throwing hand. So Cunningham has the job for the moment. Morris is up to 103.
The Giants have been tough on Jaworski. Remember the last time he had all those sacks, didn't play the next week. Of course, if he has a torn tendon in his throwing hand, he probably won't play next week.
Morris, his 4th straight game over 100, sets a new Giant record. That's been held by Ron Johnson. Maurice Carthon. I think he got enough for the first down. I also thought I saw a penalty marker go down.
I'll tell you one thing, that quick touchdown to Mike Quick changed the Giants' thinking. Now I think they probably have to keep Morris in there a while more for ball control. Had they still had that 17-0 lead, I think they could have taken him out.
No penalty. They're going to measure for the first down. Bill Parcells looking anxious. His team leading by 10. They're about, well, that much short. Next week, it begins next Sunday on CBS with the NFL Today, starting at 12:30 Eastern Time, and then the Bears will visit the Atlanta Falcons. Remember the last game we saw that matchup in Chicago?
That's when the Bears were at their all-time dominating best.
That was late last year.
Of course, that defense really isn't as dominating this year as it was last year.
3rd and short. Less than 7.5 minutes left to play. That's Moat in motion. They have a favorite play over there. They didn't run it. Sims got the 3 yards on the quarterback sneak, and they'll move the sticks.
Watch that. They get the motion going, make everyone think they're going to go to the left. Then Sims just takes the ball, finds a little crack on the right between the center and the guard, gets the first down.
That's what the Giants have to do, or have to think about from here on in. Clock running now with 6:50 left to play. 17-7, Giants leading, trying to stay tied with the Redskins for the lead in the NFC East. McConkey goes in motion. Now the handoff is to Morris, and Morris gets outside the 45 to about the 48, a pickup of 3. Reggie Singletary and Mike Reichenbach. Looks pretty relaxed over there on the blue side.
Well, you know what's going to happen. You know, they're there and they're going to end up today. They'll be 8-2, and the best start that the Giants have ever had. But they don't look real happy there. I think that's a good sign. I mean, you know, they really, you know, people are going to say, oh, they didn't win dominant, they didn't win pretty, they didn't win this way and that way. But the thing is, they have the record.
They go for a tough test in Minnesota next week. 2nd and 7. Morris again. Joe gets inside Eagle territory. A gain of 5. Gary Cobb stopped him along with Andre Waters. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 3.
Joe Morris is down there talking to someone. Maurice Carthon made a good block on that one. You know, he's like having another guard in the backfield.
He usually does make a good block.
Watch him. He's here in the left of the screen, number 44. Watch the lead that he gets right there. See, he's the guy. He gets that linebacker, Cobb, gets him to the outside, and that gives Morris a soft spot in there.
3rd and 2. McConkey moves in motion. Eagles show a blitz. Hogan read it perfectly and came up and stopped Carthon. No gain. Safety man Terry Hogue made that play.
That's when Joe Morris or Carthon didn't have a chance to read that one. Hogue did it perfectly. He walked up from his safety position. Look at him. He looks like he can feel. See, he's walking up right now, and he happens to blitz right in the hole that Carthon was running in.
And so Landeta will come on. The clock continues. Less than 5 minutes now. And a 4.5 or thereabouts. 6 punts. Good day for Landeta, who already led the NFC. Cooper is back this time. And they let it bounce. back over inside their own 15 after that 36-yard punt. Giants up 17-7. In the NFC West, we've been talking about the East and the Redskins and the Giants and the Cowboys. In the West, it looks like this. The 49ers winning big today would move to 6-3-1. The Falcons 5-4-1 now after losing today. And the Rams at 7-3. So that one's tightening up.
I'll tell you one thing. You know, Bill Walsh last week was saying that he thinks New Orleans has a good shot to win that division. Right now, they're at the bottom.
But only 2 games behind.
I think in the second half of that Jet game is when they started their upclimb.
First down, Eagles, 4-14. Latasi was in the backfield, and he makes the reception. Harry Carson makes sure that he doesn't get more than about 4. 8 catches for Junior Tuiagalelei.
Well, you know, that's a problem with this Eagle offense. Is, in all due respect to Junior Tuiagalelei, you know, they've been getting the ball to the Crawfords and the Tuiagalelei too much and not enough to the Quicks and the Jacksons.
Little replaces Spagnola at tight end, 2nd and 6. Eagle ball at their own 17. They trail by 10. Cunningham back to throw. Pump fakes. Got somebody up in the air. Gets it deep. Incomplete, intended for Jackson. Elvis Patterson back there. That'll stop the clock at 3:21.
It's the same type of play that they threw to Quick. This time Patterson just runs with him. Kennard takes a better angle over there. The first time they got the bump, Quick got between them. Kennard took a flat angle. That time Patterson got a good bump, a good ride, and Kennard took a good angle.
Remind you, this telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Philadelphia Eagles and the National Football League is prohibited. 3rd down. They need 7. High over the head, it's Herb Welch who comes up with the interception. That should just about wrap it up. Kenny Jackson, but there is a penalty flag down on the play.
It's probably going to be a roughness penalty against Taylor. It is. We'll see it here after Cunningham. See, he's mirroring Cunningham again. This time Cunningham throws, and he gives him a little bump after. Freddie Wyatt just dropped that flag out of there. Taylor said, hey, I didn't hit him. Said, I tried to stop.
I just pushed him.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 56. First down.
You know, I think on his thing, he's saying, okay, I mean, I don't think he really meant to hit. I mean, if Lawrence Taylor unloads on him, he's going to go. I think that was just a little tap.
The plea does no good. And they move it for an Eagle first down.
Bill Parcells is saying there's no easy way. And you think you got it, you're ready to start your wrap up, you're ready to start your come down, and then boom, they still got the ball.
Cunningham drops back again. Outside Junior Tuiagalelei, you got out of bounds. And that'll stop the clock with 3:04 remaining. Gain of 7. Knocked out by Lawrence Taylor. Jim Plunkett again has hit Doki Williams with a touchdown pass, and the Raiders have gone ahead of the Cowboys 17-13. They're in the 4th and not much time left.
I'll tell you, you know, this guy's done a heck of a job, Bill Parcells. I don't think he ever gets enough credit for being as good a coach as he is. Here's a guy who doesn't have all his tools. He doesn't have the wide receivers. He doesn't have a passing game. But on successive weeks, he beats the Washington Redskins, the Dallas Cowboys, and now the Eagles.
Tuiagalelei again has the Eagle first down at midfield. Carson shadowing and chasing. The clock runs with 2:50 left to play. Gain of 11.
But you know, when you talk about the top coaches, you know, you always think of the Landrys and the Shulas. Joe Gibbs has a great record.
Right.
But there's not much to it. Bill Parcells never gets mentioned. I think the job that he's done this year, he's one of those guys. See, and he knows how to yell at officials too. You gotta like that, Pat. I mean, you can't let those guys relax.
Well, you can't yell at anybody with a headset on. You got to get the headset off.
Oh no, because then the guys on the other end, they complain about yelling in their ears. They lose their hearing and stuff. Those are the guys up there. There's the offensive coordinator in the red sweater there in the glasses, Ron Earhart. He looks like he was trying to take a nap.
Well, they lead 17-7. Cunningham back again to throw again. Fires down the middle to Garrity. Garrity gets to the 32. Clock continues to tick away with 2:20 left to play, a gain of 18. Terry Kennard brought Garrity down.
I tell you, you think of Cunningham and you always think of that guy that scramble, move around, run around. But I tell you, when he throws that ball, he has a gun.
Through the hands of Keith Byers, who was open.
I mean, he stands back there and zips that ball. Watch Garrity there as a pass is thrown. See, he's going down. The defender goes down, and I think that Cunningham was trying to hold up in the ball, then he had to throw it down.
That stops the clock with 2:02. Of course, the 2-minute warning coming up. Giants leading 17-7. Eagles have all 3 timeouts remaining. So this is liable to last a while. Goes deep in the direction of Jackson, and a fan came up with it deep in the stands.
I'll tell you, he really has that one. Watch Lawrence Taylor that time. He learned his lesson. He said, I'm not even going to get my hands. I'm going to put the hands to my side.
2 minutes left to play. 1:55 actually. Giants ahead by 10. 1:55 left to play. Eagles have all 3 of their timeouts. It's been a game, we talked about, John, in the beginning. One thing I think that really irritated Buddy Ryan about the first meeting was that he felt his team was embarrassed. They haven't been embarrassed.
No, I think that he thought they were embarrassed that they got behind and they didn't keep up the fight. Well, they've gotten behind, but they've kept up the fight today.
Cunningham stumbled getting away from the center, but comes out of there nevertheless. Chased by Marshall. Chased by Taylor. Slides and tries to get out of bounds. Trying to get that first down as well. For an NFL update, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
For Pat and John, a major development in the AFC. The Broncos cannot pull one out at home. John Elway, 3 interceptions. The Chargers stun the Broncos, 9-3. The Jets now have the best record in the AFC. And, Coach Madden, you know what that means. You could be playing in New York instead of Denver in January. Back to Pat and John.
Well, there's a lot of talk circulating like that. An all-New York Super Bowl. Here's Tolatasi. Still on his feet down to about the 11. Lawrence Taylor tripped him up. Along with Herb Welch, they got 11. It's another first down. The Eagles take a timeout. 1:07 left to play.
Of course, the Eagles have to be thinking in terms again of 2 scores. I would think here, I would take a shot or 2 right here. If I didn't make it, I'd kick my field goal and then go for an onside kick. Because you need 2 scores, and then everyone's going to say, well, why is it so easy at the end of the game? Why didn't they do it this way all the time? They're going to say the Giant defense, how come you always let up at the end of the game?
You always wonder. Tonight on CBS starts with 60 Minutes. Want to make it easy, $1,500? Well, get a gang of kids to go out and pick pockets. That's what the gypsy bosses do. Then it's Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury, followed by part 1 of the CBS miniseries Monte Carlo, starring Joan Collins, George Hamilton, and Lauren Hutton. That's all tonight on CBS.
A couple weeks ago on 60 Minutes.
We were?
Yeah.
watched it, though. I was going to say someday I want to be home in time to watch it. I hope not.
I would think if I were the Eagles here, I'd take a shot. Maybe 2 at the end zone, kick a field goal, try an onside kick, then go for it.
They have 2 timeouts left. Here comes that corner blitz again. Cunningham gets away from that one. Another one. Now is chased, fires incomplete. And a flag is down right at the goal line. Anthony Toney was the intended receiver. Lawrence Taylor in the middle of the mix. Herb Welch there also. Flag down right at the goal line.
Pass interference, number 57, first down.
Byron Hunt. We're at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, the home of the Eagles. The Giants lead at 17-10. That much time remaining. 59 seconds. But the Eagles just got a pass interference penalty, and they'll have it first and goal at the 1. You saw how things have developed. The Eagles need 2 scores. They have 59 seconds left and 2 timeouts. 17-7 is the score. If I said it incorrectly, it's because I couldn't hear. The handoff is to Crawford. With the second effort, he might have gotten in. The Eagle players say that he did, but no official has said he did yet.
Now that's going to be a tough thing for the Eagles, because every time they don't get in, even though it's first down, that's taking time off the clock. They only have 2 timeouts left, and they need 2 scores. Here, does the ball break the play? No, not yet. No, I don't know. It didn't the first 2 times.
They mark it at about the 1-foot line.
Here we go. Crawford takes a dive. No, not now. No, not now. Who knows on the bottom? Look where they got that thing spotted, though. But then the Eagles had to take a timeout, so they only have 1 timeout left.
Don't forget, following football, 60 minutes except on the West Coast. Second and goal at about the 1-foot line. Score is 17-7. Ron Jaworski, who started the game at quarterback for the Eagles, out with a torn ligament or sprained ligament in the little finger on his throwing hand.
I wouldn't be surprised some type of quarterback option here where Randall Cunningham can make a fake and come out and run or pass himself, because they need it right now. Then an onside kick, this place will start to shake.
49 seconds remaining. Touchdown. The fake, as John Madden said, Cunningham kept it and scored. Fake to Crawford. It's an Eagle tackle. I think it's Mitchell injured on the play.
That's what Cunningham gives you here. He can give you the fake. You see the fake now? He comes out here with the ball, and he could run it or pass it. We see he has those long arms, and he made a dive to get that ball across the line.
He just barely got in.
I don't know if that knee was down or not. Leonard Mitchell has a bad knee. He's had a bad knee all season. You can see he has a brace on that left knee.
For the extra point then. McFadden is good, and it's 17-14. Watch the whole pile collapse on Mitchell.
Let's watch it again. And you said watch the right tackle there. Mitchell starts out making the block. Now watch, as Cunningham dives in, the ball does break the plane. And then after that, that whole pile right there kind of collapses on Mitchell. I think he got his left leg caught there. I'll tell you, now we have to have an onside kick.
11 plays, 87 yards. They kept the ball. The Eagles did 3 minutes, 29 seconds, and it's 17-14. San Francisco has beaten St. Louis 43-17. So the 49ers tighten up things in the NFC West.
they're all counting to make sure they got enough guys on this team. You wonder what would happen. The score was 0-0 when they had that punt blocked earlier because they only had 10 guys out there. Now look, Crawford's counting them, the kicker counts them, everyone counts to make sure they got enough. And the Giants, see, they're going to be in their onside prevent team.
Seen some unusual maneuvers on onside kicks where at the last second they'll bring everybody over on this side. McFadden got to get it 10 yards. Here they come. Now he goes the other way. And the Giants get the jump shot. Tony Galbraith. And that should just about run it out. Giants leading by 3, and they have the football. Those of you who watched the 49ers beat St. Louis 43-17 and saw the great day by Joe Montana here at Veterans Stadium, the Giants lead by 3 over the Eagles, and we're in the closing seconds of this one. 17-14 to score, and the clock continues to run. Bill Parcells' Giants will remain in a first-place tie with the Washington Redskins, who won earlier.
And they haven't poured the water on him yet. They look like they're getting ready to, though. See, he's sneaking a peek today. Buddy Ryan, I think, is much more proud of his players today than he was the last time these two teams met. And he knew that, he knows if he's given time, he's going to build something here. But he doesn't have it yet. But he wants them to think that they have it.
He said, I didn't exactly inherit a dynasty when I came here. The Eagles have used their last time out. Giants leading 17-14. They'll improve their record to 8-2. And you really do have to admire what Bill Parcells has accomplished.
Well, I think so. And a lot of times you have injuries. I mean, you lose your best wide receivers, and then people say, well, that's why you don't win. But when you do it, you adjust, you find other ways to win. That's what makes championship coaches.
No more timeouts, and everybody takes that stroll. For Ryan, an unpleasant one. For Bill, good to see you. Glad we're through with you for this year at least. Here comes Buddy. It's over. For John Madden, this is Pat Summerall saying so long from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, where the final score was the Giants 17, Philadelphia 14. Coming up next on the NFL.